Welcome to the theme park rundown. This week, Kurt, you're still going to be doing talking because my mouth is still killing me oddly since we are recording these back to back. That's not the point. That's not the point, Kurt. We're still going to Chessington tomorrow. What are we looking at?
The backstories of rides and why our queue lines are so dull compared to other countries.
Yeah. So there's a reason we really want to look at this is that I think they go hand in hand. I think if you've got a good queue line, it's because it's building a story.
Yeah.
To a ride.
Yeah.
And then it made us kind of think that actually we do have a few rides that have a story, but do they all execute the story properly?
No.
Or is it a story for advertising the ride? Maybe then someone doesn't actually realise that has a story when you get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it's the painkillers. So, it's a proper slur word moment. I've not been drinking, honestly. Now then, do we go park by park? Is this going to be easier?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Where do you want to start?
Portland's.
Okay.
Start with Portland's.
Okay.
So,
Portland's is a bit of a mixture.
yeah, it is. It's definitely a mixture. There's some really good examples of Portland's of queue lines, to be honest.
Yeah.
From Storm Chaser. That's a really nice queue line.
All underground, yeah.
A lot of it's indoors.
Yeah.
I always feel like indoor queues tend to be better.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say for the most part.
Yeah.
So that's a really, really nice queue line.
I will just say, with Storm Chaser, you are kind of... I wouldn't say it's story-driven. You're kind of... It's your imagination that you kind of know but you're still chasing storms.
Yeah, you're still within it.
Yeah, it's a great... it's a fantastic queue line.
Ghostly Manor,
yes.
You're in the story from the start.
You are, yeah. For the minute you enter the gate.
And the story continues the whole way until you step onto the ride, and then even the ride until you get off the ride.
Yeah.
It's a really perfect example.
It is a great example.
Of how the backstory is shown throughout the whole queue.
Yes.
And it is really important to that ride. Without it, it wouldn't be as good.
By the time you get on Storm Chaser, you know you're chasing storms. But I think you just know that by default because of the name of it. With Ghostly Manor, I don't think people know straight away what they're getting in for. They probably don't know that until they enter the building, in fairness. And the amount of people I see going, oh, Dr. Kinley. But I think by the time you sit on the ride, you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So that is a good example. Yeah.
It's a really good example. One of the best we have, actually.
It is one of the best. Probably not the best, but it's one of the best.
It's one of the best.
Yeah, 100%.
Queue line wise, I don't think the ones in Lost Kingdom stand out necessarily.
No.
But then obviously moving on to Valgard, obviously you've got really nice queues for all three there.
Yeah.
And while one of them is obviously all outdoors.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much of a...
You have the trolls and everything.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much of a story to that. I don't
think any of them necessarily story.
Draken has, because it's got the pre-show.
Yeah, of course. But in terms of how themed they are from start to finish of the queues...
they're themed amazingly. But we look at... Yeah, I mean, queue line, if we're looking at queue lines being nice as well, that's a nice queue, the Vilsford queue. And again, I think Draken, you know what the ride's about when you're getting on it. You know that you're flying and fighting Draken, the dragon. I think the story makes it clear. It's a short story, arguably, but I think it's quite clear.
Yeah.
Raven, I guess you're just going to see the Ravens, aren't you? But it's a beautiful queue.
It's a lovely queue.
It's a beautiful queue. Yeah, they have good examples of...
They have really good queue lines overall for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
But certainly Ghostly Manor...
The newer stuff.
If we say a standout for each park, shall we? So that'll be the standout for me for Portland.
Yeah, it probably is.
It tells the story from the start to the finish. It makes the ride in a sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need the queue to make the ride make sense.
Yeah.
And that is one of them, and it works well.
Yeah.
And it's an example where the backstory is represented in the queue.
Yeah.
And it needs to be.
Next park.
Chessington.
Okay.
So, there's some great queues there as well.
Funny enough, they do have some good queue lines.
Vampire is one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Especially the station and indoors, obviously.
Even if you're outside on Vampire, it's not cattle penny.
No.
So
I do like the
you
vampire
kind of go
queue.
through, and I know people moan about the chessboard and things.
Yeah.
It probably used to be slightly better, but actually, there's a lot to look at.
Yeah.
And then the station.
Yeah, and it is somewhat of a story.
Has it got a story now?
Not hugely.
So I'd argue when it opened, it did have a story.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't. It's a bit diluted, the story.
Yeah.
I think because, again, they've got to a point where everyone knows what vampire is, so
Yeah.
that's the story.
But it's still a really nice queue.
It's a beautiful queue, yeah.
Got Toon Blaster.
Yeah, arguably, it's a good queue.
Predominantly inside. Well, actually, it's a bit half and
It's
half,
a bit
isn't
half
it?
and half. Even if you go around all the outside, you're not in a cattle pen.
No. But
You've
the
got some good
inside
views.
queue with all the sort of jewels and everything
Yeah.
is really, really nice.
It is. Now, do you necessarily know what the story is, though?
Not
Of the
fully.
Tomb Blaster.
Not fully.
Which
You,
is
you can tell
annoying.
that you're going into a tomb.
Well,
You know it's a shooting ride. You know you're going down into a tomb. You
do
know
you think
there's...
the name gives that away?
Well, yeah, of course. Of course. But you can still tell when you're in the queue that it's sort of very tomb-like. The paintings on the walls.
Yeah. It looks very Egyptian.
And the jewels and everything. It's themed up nicely. It's not a story whereby you know what the ride's necessarily going to be like.
Okay.
Though.
So is the annoyance that they used to have screens throughout the queue line, which obviously told you exactly what you were doing,
Yeah.
exactly why you were going in, and exactly why you were shooting?
Yes, it's annoying when you take something like that away because there is a backstory to the ride, but it isn't represented anymore.
But it's not represented anymore.
Exactly.
Because the TVs have either been turned off or put a board over.
Yeah.
So it's quite obvious when you get on there that you're going into the tomb. And
The
there's a
onboard
little
audio,
bit-
well, the audio helps.
It's
Sorry.
better,
Yeah.
but you maybe don't realise it till you're a bit further through.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other rides?
Well, I haven't been on Chasers, but it's got a pre-show.
Yeah.
Is it story-driven much?
Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it is story driven. The queue's horrendous in terms of cattle pen like.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, yeah, Chaser's got a nice pre-show. It sets you up for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'll agree with that.
I think... Yeah.
You could argue Tiger Rock isn't cattle penny.
No.
Takes you out the back,
There's not
takes you
necessarily
over
a
the
story
station.
to it.
Well, you're going to see the tigers.
They don't exist, so there's
So
not...
no, there is no story to it.
No, I do think Tomb's still the best, even if the story has somewhat disappeared.
I think the problem is with Chesington, well, they use a lot of IPs, which again we don't have a problem with.
No,
Actually,
because
they
I think
work well.
Minecraft's queue is going to be awesome.
I think it will. Is that you're just expected to know.
Yeah.
So you're expected to know on Gruffalo, oh, I'm going to go see Gruffalo. There's not
Yeah.
really a... There's a story once you're on the boat,
Yeah.
but there's not a lot of pre-story.
No.
It's the same with Room on a Broom. And then I'd argue it's the same with Jumanji
Yeah.
in Mandrill Mayhem. You don't... There's no, like... If you've not seen Jumanji,
Yeah.
I would imagine it's quite baffling what that Jaguar is
Yeah.
and why you're on Mandrills.
Yeah.
Where a few screens, a little bit of an undercover...
Yeah.
queue and a little bit of story, actually you'd be like, right, I'm going to get on mandrills, go and escape this, climb the mountains, get the jewel.
Yeah.
I only know that because I've seen the film. If I hadn't seen the film,
You wouldn't know.
you wouldn't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of rides at Chesington that could benefit from having more of a story.
Just a bit of a story, yeah.
Because there's a lot of them that would be really good with
But
it.
actually the queue lines aren't too bad generally, I would say.
No, I'd actually
They're
say
quite good.
Chesington queue lines are not too bad at all,
No.
really.
Apart from Fury, maybe.
Yeah, it's not great.
And again, Fury, I suppose Fury used to have a bit of a
I just don't,
backstory.
I just
when it
don't
opened.
like it when the back doors of Frazzle are open and you can see it all.
Yeah, poor Frazzle.
It's working again now.
Yeah.
Broken for a few weeks, bless him.
Yeah, there's moments. Yeah, story, right. Next park.
Fort Park.
Okay, should be fun.
So I'll say Swarm.
Okay.
You do have a story.
Well,
To be fair, well, now the screens work again.
now the screens work, you have a story.
When there was no screens, I had no
Not
idea.
a clue what was going on.
No. I mean, obviously we knew, but a lot of
Not a
people
clue.
wouldn't. With the screens and the audio from them, you do now know exactly what you're doing, in fairness.
I will still say the change of the music hasn't helped.
No.
I think that the Yumi at 6 track, The Swarm,
Yeah.
and saying End of the World really helped the narrative of the story,
Yeah.
which
Which has gone now completely, which
gone
is a real shame. We
pretty
were saying
much.
this in the queue the other day, we were like, where is it?
yeah,
Why is
it's
it gone?
so catchy, it was so good.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that's been removed.
Yeah.
But it does help. When the news reports are on, you should be under no illusion what's going on there. And actually, it is a little bit cattle penny, but it's not
too bad.
it's not dreadful.
The only bit where it gets banned is when it gets extended over the back. It's horrible round there. Absolutely
I don't like
horrible.
the open station. That's the only thing I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm sure the staff don't either.
No. Should have been enclosed.
I get it.
It
but
could
they
have still
could have
ruined
done.
and been enclosed.
Yeah, they could have done a derelict look with it being enclosed.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got Walking Dead.
I'd argue Walking Dead.
Yet again,
Pre-show?
the outside bit, not as much.
No.
But pre-show and then walking in there to get
I think
on,
you know exactly
to
what
come
you're
in
doing
out.
on The Walking Dead. I would argue that's Fort Park's best example,
Yeah, it probably is, yeah.
in honesty.
Yeah, that and Swarm, I think, are
Yeah.
the best too
Yeah.
in the park.
Stealth, I can't again speak for itself.
I mean,
Inferno,
I don't mind the stealth queue line and the music's well
Inferno
catchy.
speaks for itself.
Yeah.
People will say Saw, but again, if you haven't seen Saw,
Well, until you get in the inside bit with the gun shooting and that, I mean, it's quite loose theming around the back.
well, it's not so much even the gun scene, because it's like, if you haven't
Still,
seen
you don't
Saw,
know what it is. No,
you don't know what it is.
But even up until that point, it's not that
It
exciting.
used to
of a
play
queue.
far more, I want to play a game. But the problem is, if you don't know Saw, I would argue that it's not very good. I can see why people get confused. Again, I love Saw, so I go in and go, oh yeah, this, and this.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not a terrible themed
No.
queue once you're inside.
Yeah.
It's dreadful outside. It's
Yeah.
dreadful. But inside, it's quite a nice queue.
Yeah.
So that works okay. Hyperia. This is actually a little bit frustrating
Yeah, it should have been better than what it is.
because it has a story.
Yeah.
The area has lots of screens,
Yeah.
and all it does is show the information which we said in our previous episode no one ever listens to, of just people sitting down pulling their lap bar down,
Yeah.
which I don't think it should. I
No.
think it should be showing the story
Yeah.
to try and give you a little bit of immerse, like, you are Hyperia, you're going to be flying. I can't even remember the story, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a real missed opportunity that all those screens just repeat
Yeah.
non-story
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because it's got a backstory, but I
They
don't
don't
imagine
represent that.
99 out of 100 people can't actually pinpoint what it is.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I think the best ride's Walking Dead.
Yeah. Well, not the best ride in the park, but for this. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Although, I mean...
And Swarm.
Well, what about flying fish? You know you're flying on a fish from the minute you get in that queue.
Next part,
Legoland.
Legoland. Okay.
So, we've got Dragon.
I'd say that's a good queue.
Yeah. I mean, you know you're going on a dragon in a castle.
Is there a story?
Not particularly until you sit down on the ride and you go through the indoor bit, but even then, not really.
Is there a story?
Not really.
Should there be a story?
Yeah.
You just assume, again, this is the problem, you see. I think...
But I wonder, though, the beginning bit, if we had theming outside, the beginning bit could tell more of a story for what's going to
Well,
happen.
they've got all the turrets in which they should have screens, which they used
Yeah.
to have, telling stories.
Yeah. Well, they used to show videos of the other Legoland dragons.
They
didn't
did, yeah.
Even that would be better than what it
It
is
doesn't
now.
really tell you anything. I think, again, and I know what people are going to say, but you think again to Universal, because
Yeah.
Universal are coming.
Yeah.
It's the best way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Although you kind of know Harry Potter, even if you don't know Harry Potter, you enter Forbidden Journey,
Yeah.
it's all like the story is there all the way
Yeah.
through that queue.
But same with Hagrid's Gringotts.
Same with Hagrid,
you
same
know
with
what's-
Gringotts,
yeah.
with the pre-shows and everything. You know exactly
Yeah.
what is happening and why you're going into that attraction.
Yeah.
Same on Velocicoaster. You don't need to have seen Jurassic
No.
Park to know what you're doing on Velocicoaster.
No.
Even the Hulk, you don't need to know who the Hulk
Nope.
is. And Spider-Man, Transformers,
You don't need to know.
everything
Yeah.
is there
Yeah.
before you get on the ride.
Yeah.
Now, I know what people will say, and Disney's the same. People will say about it, obviously, but we got a Universal coming who will tell exactly the same stories. Even the Minions, for Christ's sake, the Minion Blast, you know exactly where you're going in there.
Yeah.
So this is why we say it. This is why we say it about our parks.
Yeah.
Is that we do a backstory. Hyperia is the best example of recent time. You do a backstory to sell the ride,
Yeah.
and then just
Don't tell us all about it.
don't tell us anything else about it going forward.
Yeah.
And it's such a simple few TV screens, couple of boards, a little bit of immerse. It really can't cost that much to do it.
No.
And give you a bit of like, oh yeah, I see what I'm doing.
Yeah. The screen's already there.
So Legoland arguably is probably better because I'd argue Skyline, again, not the most interesting queue. It is underground,
Yeah.
but the TVs are playing all the time.
Yeah.
You've got the pre-show. You know exactly what you're doing when you get on Skyline.
Do.
You know the story.
It's an infuriating queue, but
you know everything about it.
You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Monster Party.
Monster Party, exactly.
But when you go in there, especially.
Yeah,
once you
again,
get
the
indoors,
queue outside is horrendous.
But when you get inside, you know what you're doing. You're
The story's
prepped
there.
for it. Ninjago.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
All the TVs, and the TVs are outside as well, I believe. So you kind of know why you're going in. You know what's happening.
Yeah.
Laser Raiders, funnily enough, I even think Laser Raiders has stuff in the queue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
So there is a story to those.
Is that more because obviously they're focused at the younger audience and they just want them to understand the rides before they go on them?
Are they looking at it? Do the younger audience understand it?
I don't know. Is it more for the parents? They can tell their kids, right, this is a gun, shoot the
Potentially.
target.
Yeah,
I don't
potentially.
know, but well, this is how you do it on
Potentially.
Ninjago. I don't know.
But, I mean, they've got a lot of smaller rides like
Yeah.
Aero Nomad and the swings and
Yeah,
things that don't really have anything. I mean, even minifigure Speedway, you know what's happening. One of the worst setup
Could have
queues.
finished the area.
It just could have finished the ride. One of the worst setup queues in the world, but you know exactly what's happening before you get on that ride.
Yeah.
So
They've got some good examples, to be fair.
yeah, they do have some really good examples.
Yeah.
Deep Sea Adventure, exactly the same.
Yeah, again, you know what you're going in for.
So I think in storytelling terms, actually, Legoland have the best
Yeah, they probably
out
do.
of all the parks.
Yeah.
And some really good examples there. And Kurt's just remember the switch alarm. Which
We
is
do
probably
this
a
a
good
lot.
idea because
We
we'll
do
get
this a
dark.
lot.
We do this a lot. It just suddenly gets dark.
Yeah.
So I think Legoland actually, I reckon, is going to be the best park for storytelling. But next park,
To be up there. Let's go Dragon Manor.
okay. So
The Haunting.
the Hauntings, a good example.
Yeah.
Again, the queue should move quicker.
Yes, yeah, it's
It's
painful.
not terrible.
But from
There's a
that,
little bit going
from
on
that
that side.
first bit after you get back, you do know what's going on.
You do know what's going on, yeah.
And it's quite clear,
Yeah.
actor or staff led, however you want to say
Yeah.
it. You do know what's going on, start to finish,
Yeah,
in fairness.
Yeah.
Gold Rush?
I'd say Gold Rush has got a story as well.
Yep. And
that's a
the
nice
screens
queue.
and that do actually
I
tell you
think
what's
Gold
going
Rush
on.
is a nice queue.
Yes, yeah.
It's quite open. There's not too much cattle penny. You go
Yeah.
round underneath the ride.
Yeah.
You then go into the back end of the station. You
Yeah.
know, if it's flowing nicely.
Yeah. And it usually
Really
moves
nice queue.
alright. Yeah.
Yeah, really nice queue.
Yeah. It's a good example again,
Yeah.
to be fair. Probably the best two they have. Don't know if any of the others tell.
No, I mean, I
mass
think
amounts
the
of
shooting
story.
ride is hit and miss. I don't really know why I'm in there.
I'm not a big fan of that shit.
It's just like a Wild West shootout, isn't it? I know you
Yeah.
don't like it. It's a Wild West shootout. The Wave doesn't really have a backstory.
Well,
You just, again-
standing in a stairwell going, why is this taking so long?
You just the thing is with the Wave, it's much like the other rides. You just have to kind of assume that there's a
Yeah.
surfboard there, and you're like, oh, I'll go surfing.
Yeah.
And I get it, but
Although less so now, because you're not stood up surfing. But
well,
I know it's still called the wave, but I'm still saying
interesting.
you're not going surfing anymore, are
you're
you?
going on the waves. I get it, but yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. And but again, it could have had a really. These stories got to be really simple.
Yeah.
I mean, Dragons, in fairness, it's 45 seconds, and you're like, oh, I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I know why I'm here.
Yeah.
Powerful to the point
On one screen.
on one screen.
Yeah.
Tells you everything you need to know why you're going on the ride.
Yeah, I think
Drayton, yeah.
I think Haunting and Gold Rush are the only ones really.
Yeah, the whole Viking area has nothing.
Not particularly, no.
Thomas Land? I guess, again, it's down to IP, isn't it? I mean, we left Peppa
Yeah.
Pig out of it because it's
Yeah.
it's an obvious IP.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think...
Yeah, I think it would be Haunting and Gold Rush, and I'd probably say Haunting has the best story overall.
Yeah, I
in
think it
terms of
probably is.
so you know what's going on.
Yeah,
I'd probably say it's
is.
their best.
Probably is the best ride. There are examples, which is good, but not loads.
Yeah.
Okay, next part.
Alton Towers.
Okay.
Hex is a standout.
You could
for me.
argue that Alton Towers probably, and when we say Legoland excel,
Towers do as well.
they do. So Hex.
I think Hex is a standout.
I think Hex is a standout.
That whole ride is story-led.
Yes.
It's one of the best stories we have.
Yeah.
You know from the minute you go in there,
Yeah.
because you don't really queue outside often, you know from the minute you go in there what you're there for,
Yeah.
what's going on, then you hear the whole story up until the moment you get on.
Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah.
example of storytelling and
Yeah.
represented in the
And a good queue.
on screens, through
Yeah.
theming,
Yeah.
through the ride.
Yeah.
The best example we have in the UK,
Yeah, probably is.
probably.
Yeah, well, it easily is. I think
Yeah.
it probably is. It easily is.
And it's which means
The
it's
space
Tower's
helps
best
that.
as
The
well.
space helps
Of
that.
course, of course.
So, we'll then go to Curse because it's the other dark ride.
Yeah.
Now, Curse has a story.
Yeah.
I'd argue that if you don't know what that story is beforehand and the rides walk on,
Yeah.
you don't know what that story is when you get onto it.
No, you need to stop in the inside bit
And watch it all.
to sort of read some of the plaques as you go in,
Yeah.
like the fact it's up for sale.
Yeah.
Maybe even read some of the tombstones outside, or the gravestones. But when you get inside, you want to see the room go dark where it all lights up. You want to see the projections on the doll's house.
It's not super clear,
No.
I would argue.
Yeah, it's a
So
shame
the
that...
pre-story and everything that Tower set out for it was
Yeah.
clear as day.
Yeah.
But again, if you never saw that and you're a first-time visitor,
And
I
if it's
don't
got-
think you'd find the ride bad. I don't think you'd
No, I mean,
necessarily...
if it's got a 20-minute queue or something, which, yeah, again, is quite rare, but even if you're just queuing from outside and you do actually go through that little bit, a
Yeah.
bit slower, just so you can understand it a little bit more.
I'm not sure that you're picking up on the story.
Not necessarily, no.
Gangster Granny. Funny enough, I don't think the
Story
queue
doesn't actually
the queue doesn't offer
get
you a
represented in
lot.
the queue, to be honest.
It's
More of it just tells you it whilst the ride
Again,
goes
it's
on,
one
like
of those
Gruffalo.
where it is led once you're on the ride. It's quite clear when you're on the ride what you're going in for. I guess that's the thing.
Yeah.
Where I don't necessarily think on Curse it's clear why you're there.
Yeah. Whereas Gangster
Gangster
Granny tells
Granny
you a
is- it tells
story
you
in
the
the
whole
first couple of
story.
scenes. Yeah, and then
So
throughout.
you know exactly what you're
Yeah.
there for. Let's go on to some of the major roller coasters.
Wicker Man.
So Wicker Man.
Yeah.
It does a great job. Again, it's not a bad queue. Because it's
know-
not cattle pen.
you know
You
that
go
you're-
around the ride.
You know you're feeding the flames of the Wicker Man from the minute you get in.
If you, as long as you see the pre-show, which generally you do. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very rare you don't.
Yeah.
The pre-show tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
So actually, I think that does a really good job.
Yeah.
It doesn't excel over Hex, but I think it does a really good job.
Coaster-wise,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Nemesis Reborn? See, this is a tricky one.
You see, it's difficult because obviously some of the queue is a little bit there, like by the drop and things, but then there are screens, aren't there, when you get round with a little sort of shelter bit which starts to tell you
Yes.
the story, but then obviously you don't hear any more story then until you're round by the station, by which there isn't much.
No. So actually, because you could argue Subterra's better.
In terms of
Subterra,
story
again,
wise,
isn't a terrible queue because it's not cattle pen.
no.
And tells you everything you need to know right to the end. But
Yeah.
regardless of what you
there's
think of the
screens,
ride.
and then once you get to
Story,
where you put
ride,
your bits
yeah.
in the locker, you get explained everything. You see it all on screens
You
as you go in.
probably find out more about Nemesis on Nemesis Subterra, or Nemesis Reborn,
Yeah.
on Subterra than what you do on Reborn.
Yeah.
Because the truck which you walk past, which does have things on, isn't always on because you don't always walk past it,
Yeah.
depending on how long the queue is.
Yeah.
So again, it's just naturally thought.
Yeah.
It's just naturally assumed that everyone knows.
What
If
the
I
Nemesis
was
creature is.
Yeah, if I was visiting from the States, you might have heard about it.
And I mean,
get
like
it.
the eye and things like that. Some theming pieces help get.
It just tells you there's a
No,
monster.
but they
doesn't
help
it?
you get a gist of kind of
Yeah.
what's going on.
But it doesn't tell you why it's
No.
there, and it's broken out the
No.
ground.
But yeah, and again.
And that actual story of Nemesis
Yeah.
isn't shown anywhere.
No. But obviously you got Subterra, which tells more of a story. This would help yet again though if things like Galactica all had the same theme,
Yeah,
because the story will be told across multiple of them.
because
And you
these
find
parks,
out different bits on each
parks
to get,
install
to get the
TV
picture.
screens and they just do adverts on them
Yeah.
if they install them. Vampire's a great one of just come and eat the Burger Kitchen. It's like, well, no, immerse me in the ride.
Yeah.
And I just think Nemesis Reborn has an amazing story, and I get everyone screaming at the whatever now, wherever they're watching or listening to this, going, "Well, we know what it is." Yeah, you do. But as a first-time visitor, sit back and think, would you pick up on the whole of that story walking through that queue line into that station? I don't think you would.
Not, no. Whereas something like Hex, you would.
With Hex, you would.
Million percent.
Yeah.
You
100%.
can't not. Just listen and watch, and
Exactly.
you'll know everything.
Yeah, you can't not. Oblivion, I think actually is fairly good.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah, the screens tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
It helps now, obviously, it's holding you with the don't look down.
Yeah.
Because yet again, it's
It does
immersing
link
you
to
in.
it links to the story.
Exactly. Things like that need to be there for it to link.
Yeah.
I
I think actually that does a good
for
job.
what it is, yeah.
Yeah. Smiler.
Yeah. When all the theming pieces are going on, you got the music,
Yeah.
and then once you
And
get
the
in the
screens
indoor
work.
bit as well on the screens, you know that you're there to be marmalised.
Yeah, you might not know what that is.
No, but you belong to the Smiler.
Yeah. I think it's quite clear.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will probably be sitting here thinking that's the best example. I still think Hex draws it out better.
Yeah.
But actually, Smiler's pretty good.
But once you're in that Smiler queue, even if it is cat or penny, you are like, oh my god, what is going on? And you could tell that it's just there to make you dizzy and hypnotised or confused. Like, it is what it's there to do.
Rita is, I mean, it's just quick and easy.
Yeah.
13 is an interesting one.
Because there's not really any story until you get inside.
What's the story?
It's about escaping the forest, isn't it, in a sense? But it is loose.
It is loose, yeah. I don't think it does enough.
No.
Because the outside queue is long and boring.
Yeah, it could be better themed for sure.
I think it could be.
I still like the bit with the electricity, and the station's still nice, and the drop room's still nice, but there's a lot of
I love the ride.
There's a lot of bare bits.
Yeah, I love the ride. I mean, it looks really good. I mean, it needs a dust, but it looks really good inside.
Yeah.
But again, I think walking through that queue line on an off-peak day where there's a 10-minute queue, I'm not sure you pick up what that is about.
No, not necessarily, no.
You'll enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
But I
you
don't
will.
think you'll pick up what it's about. And then we won't talk about Galactica. I don't think it's worth it. So, what we're going Hex? Best ride.
I'd say so.
Okay, next part.
Blackpool?
Okay. It's an interesting one, Blackpool.
Yeah, it is actually. Because yet again, like, you could be in a queue for Alice. A lot of people might know the story anyway. The queue doesn't tell you anything about it if you don't know the Alice in Wonderland story.
No.
But yet again, it's one of those a bit like Gruffalo and Gangster Granny and things.
The assumption
you find
is
out
you
the
know.
story on it as well.
Yeah, it's the assumption is you know.
Yeah, but you also find out the story on them.
If you've never heard of Alice in Wonderland, I get it's near damn impossible, but if you've never heard of it, that ride is not going to tell you anything about it.
Not massively.
It's going to tell you nothing. You're going to get off thinking...
That was creepy.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It was creepy.
Yeah.
But if you know Alice in Wonderland, it is like Gruffalo and things like that, where you're just like, oh yeah, that's it. I don't know if we include Ghost Train's Ghost Train. I think you can include that, so you'd have to move on to...
You got Wallace.
Wallace and Gromit, and it falls under the same category, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you don't... Funny enough, have you been on it since they've had the new scenes?
No.
So they've changed the audio.
Done one I went asked. Yeah.
Which I'm not offended by, but one of the first things you did when you sat on the train is you went down and said, oh, I've forgotten to oil the brakes.
Yeah.
Or do what with the brakes.
Yeah.
That's gone.
What?
It's not part of the story
I like that
anymore
then.
because you have feathers there. So it's not part of the story going down. Which actually I think probably doesn't help the story, but it diverts it to something else. I mean, I'm not offended by it either way because I love Wallace and Gromit. But again, it's one of those, if you don't know who Wallace and Gromit is,
Yeah.
that ride is not for you,
Yeah.
I'd argue. You might find it quite fun,
Yeah.
but it's not a story-driven
Yeah,
ride.
you might still find it quite fun. It's quite fun.
Valhalla?
Valhalla, yet again, outside doesn't really tell you anything. I mean, you can tell that it's Viking themed.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when you get in there, it's incredible. You don't really need to know the theme.
No, probably not.
When you get in there, like...
But it probably
It's
has
very
a story.
immersive in there.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
immersive in there, I get
It
that.
could represent the story more.
Queue line's horrendous.
Yeah. Even some outside screens, just to give you a brief idea of what's going on.
Honestly, all we're looking at here is screens, posters, and a little bit of story. That's all we're looking for all these rides.
Yeah.
Any other rides there? Icon, it's loose. I can't tell you the theme of Icon even now.
Yeah. A lot of the rides there are fairly loose. Obviously, you've got Nickelodeon, but they're still not really...
Type
Queues
in
don't
it,
really
don't
show
worry, you
what's
get-
going on with
no.
the ride.
No, okay. Over to Pleasurewood Hills. The closest one I can think of there is probably Rootin' Tootin'. And even then, it's still not... You know you're going on a shooting ride, but you don't know why you're going on a shooting
I wouldn't say there's any queues there that stand out, to be honest.
No, I don't think there is.
I think same when you move across to
Lightwater
Valley. The best would have been Raptor Attack.
And the worst part of with Lightwater Valley is when they had the Rat or Raptor Attack, whichever one it was, it went on.
It's quite a good queue.
There was a story.
Yeah.
And you kind of knew there was, I believe, screens. And even Hobbs Pit, before that was removed at Pleasurewood Hills for Route and Tooting, that had a pre-show story as well. So you knew exactly what you were going in there for. So actually they removed the immersiveness of it, which was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Flamingo Land.
I don't think there's any queues that particularly... I can't remember if the... sort of the arm one has a pre-show or not.
The arm one?
Yeah, the robotic arm. That thing.
Are you at Fancy Island?
Yes.
Well, I said Flamingo Land. But we can go to Fancy Island if you like.
I thought you said Fancy Island, sorry.
I haven't been on the robot arm.
I can't remember if that had screens before.
A lot of people say good things about the boat ride, but I don't know what the... I need to refresh myself with Fancy Island.
Yeah, you haven't been in so long.
No. But from what I remember...
Well, obviously, a lot of their queues are outdoors, because it's more of an amusement park in a sense. Yeah. All the queues, like indoors and that, are quite nice in general, to be fair.
I need to refresh myself there. I don't think there's anything that stands out, but I need to refresh.
Yeah.
Flamingo Land.
Flamingo Land.
I mean, Sick builds it up to be a party, and it kind of is.
I haven't been on Sick yet, so I wouldn't know.
But
apart from that, I just remember trying to avoid wasps in the queues.
Yeah. Mambo Jumbo hasn't got anything. Kamali hasn't got anything. They should have.
No. Velocity? Nothing really.
No.
Given that could build it up a little bit.
I think the Rhombus Mansion may be the closest thing, but even then, you're still not really sure. That little indoor dark ride with like one car. Still not 100% sure. Not seeing anything.
Hopefully when the water ride reopens, that has a little bit of story to it.
Yeah. So why do we have loads of boring queue lines? Is it space?
Well, no, because a lot of them do have the space.
Because
some don't, but a fair few of the queues that you look at, when we're talking about, especially things like 13, how much room there is outside.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of them do have the room to, and Nemesis and things, to do more with them.
Yeah.
Some of it's budget.
Yeah, some of it's budget.
I think a lot of it, actually, in the UK in general, is we try and go for rides which are world's first or record breakers, meaning that you end up spending more on the ride, so you've got less money to theme it with.
You see, what I'll say is, because we're in the UK and we're quite a small island, we go all out on the advertising for a new ride for the first year, and then just assume that everyone knows it from then onwards, basically. Yeah. I think that'll be my... I don't necessarily think it's how much we spend on the ride. I don't think going over... And they'll say the Nemesis queue line's quite well put together. I think the top end of the Nemesis queue line isn't any, but very well put together. I think it's probably better than what it was. Oddly, but I don't think it's any better put together. How much, honestly, would it have cost to put a couple of like building sheds, nice ones, themed with a few TVs that are always on, ones you always walk past, with some sounds, with a story, like, don't go in there. Like, I can think, everyone knows the story for Nemesis, because they know the story for Nemesis.
Extra 20, 30, 40k?
Can't be much.
Not that much money compared
Same
to
with 13, enclose a little bit of 13, have a couple of walkthrough bits.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a huge amount.
It just wouldn't. Even the vampire, I can't even remember the vampire story. Yeah. It was about... going into the woods. Yeah,
but you see what I mean as well. Like, but we're getting things like abroad. You look at that Cornwall coaster, or you look at things like Megalodon and things. Like when you go for like a Gerstlauer Airtime coaster or something, they are going to be a fraction of the price of something like Mandrill that we've had in recent years. Meaning they've had more money to spend on theming with their overall budget because they've gone for still an awesome ride, but without trying to just go for a record.
I mean, Portland's is right there.
Which means they've had more money. Yeah, exactly. With Drakon.
With Drakon.
They've still gone for a custom layout. Yeah. A really nice coaster, a great coaster.
Great thing.
But instead of spending money on like a world's first or something, they've gone, let's get something that, people might know, and there might be a couple others around, but let's do a great coaster and then use the rest of the budget to theme it amazingly. Yeah. And do a lot of the UK parks miss the trick.
And the queue line, And I mean, the inside the Raven queue's a little bit cowpenny still, but there is stuff to look at.
But we're missing a trick there.
Yeah, we are. It's just, generally, it's just a few screens. Yeah. That's all it is.
I mean, I know with Hyperion, if you want to build a 200-foot coaster, no matter who you pick, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to add a little bit
But
more
as I
budget
said,
for the theme
the
in there,
annoying
but-
thing is with Hyperion is they have the story,
And they have screens.
they have the screens,
But they don't show the story on the screens.
and they don't show the story on screens.
That's right.
That's the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
We did forget Ghost Train there, but I think it's probably best we don't talk about it. Sort of throw it out.
Although
For someone
it isn't actually badly led, in fairness.
No. Sure.
Yeah.
So, queue lines in general then. I mean, the problem is with some old queue lines, I can't see, for instance, with Dragon's Fury, how they could ever change that.
No.
There are some rides now they won't be able to change. In fact, Colossus's queue line isn't too bad.
No, it's not, to be fair.
And the whole market, that never had a story. That was all about Power of 10.
Yeah, yeah. And you hear that on the speakers throughout.
You do hear that on the speakers.
And you can see it all
doesn't
around
really
you.
have a story.
Yeah.
But actually, if they were to retheme that, it's an easy one to do a story on, I would argue.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
But some of them you can't change much.
No, I think
But
some we
even
can't
Saw.
change much. Some we could make more of an effort on, but some of
Yeah.
it is the budget might be going in the wrong places.
I mean, even Saw, because I know when you get inside, you get a little bit from Billy. But I just think a Saw Alive used to tell you everything you needed to know. That
Yeah,
Saw
yeah.
Alive video actually would work fine on the ride.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of it's budgeting.
So best park for it, we're saying Legoland?
Legoland or Towers?
Legoland or Towers.
I
Best
think it's
ride?
fairly close. Hex.
It's got to be a Hex, isn't it?
I think that's quite an obvious one. But yeah, I think so much of it is budgeting because you look how much Portland spent to do Valgard and create stories and create an amazing area, and then you look at the cost of Paw Patrol or the cost of Jumanji or the cost of Evictus or the cost of many other things that the UK build. The cost of Sick, for instance.
Yeah.
Not that I believe the cost of Sick, but the cost of Sick.
Yeah.
What you can do with that money, are they hiring contractors that are too expensive? Are they not aggressive enough with their negotiation? There's something there, and it's not just Merlin or Flamingo Land, it's all the parks.
Yeah.
There's something there where what is there that is meaning that they're not budgeting it as well as somewhere like Paulton's?
So are we saying then, what have we had open this year? Valgard, Evictus, Paw Patrol, Bluey, main rides. So I'd argue Valgard has a good story, which is represented throughout the area.
Yeah.
I'd argue Paw Patrol, whilst easy, does have a story.
Yeah, and also we've said
And
with the
Chase
IPs
has a
it's more
story.
obvious. Yeah, yeah.
So they're both steps in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bluey doesn't have a story again.
But yet again, when it's in CBBS and you've got Bluey meet and greets and Bluey shows, it kind of just incorporates into the area.
Right. Well, my argument is that I haven't seen Bluey Here Comes the Grannies.
Yeah.
Why not just play it in the queue line?
It's true. On the screen, yeah.
Just play it on the screen. Because let's face it, that ride's always got a 10-minute queue, even on off-peak day. So why not just play it in the queue line?
Yeah.
They can't, surely, if they've got a license in for that, they could play the one episode on loop in the queue line. Some people might get bored, I understand that. But you would understand what it's about. Why are we not doing that? I have no idea still what that ride's about.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Yeah, it's fair.
And then Evictus. It's difficult because Blackpool aren't known for stories, really.
No.
But it's a nice, clean ride. I'm not sure. It's themed to the snake. Yeah. Very loosely. Themed to the snake. And it looks nice.
But
Is it a step in the right direction with Paw Patrol and Valgard?
Yeah, I think it probably is. And then I think looking into the next few years, you've got Minecraft coming.
So Minecraft will be story-led.
Will be story-led.
Q should be as well.
Yeah, you've got a new spinning coaster coming to Legoland, and we know Legoland
Should
are
be
fairly
story-led.
good, so it should be story-led
Yeah.
and Ninjago themed again.
Yeah.
Whatever Portons are doing in the
Serpent's
next
Curse.
3-4 years, or even after Serpent's Curse, yet again is going to be story-led because it's
Yeah.
Portons Park. So I would argue that we probably are getting better.
Yeah.
But, it will take time, and some of the older rides will never get that love.
No, I think the most dull queue lines we've got in this country are never going to change.
No,
Because
probably
there's no
not.
space to change them. Dragon's Fury is right up there, prime
The thing
example.
is that Dragon's Fury, yes, isn't a great queue, but the eggs and the dragons in the queue, could they still paint them up? Yes.
Yeah.
That horrible metal shed that goes over the brake run, could they still
Bit surprised they haven't. But
could they still sort that out and theme it up nicely?
Yeah.
Yes. Would that still make the queue a little bit better? Yeah.
could they add a story to it?
Less eyesores.
All
Yeah,
these
they
could have
probably
stories too.
Yeah, again though, they could put some screens if they enclose that on the outside of it for the
Yeah.
queue to see it. I don't know.
Let us know what you think. Are we overthinking this? Because we want it to be theme parks, and we're doing it on the basis that Universal are coming and all of their rides will have a story.
Yes, all of them. The queues will be phenomenal.
And yet, I think a story can be added to most of our rides, even like Seastorm. I think it'd be added to most of our rides relatively cheaply with a few nice props, couple of screens.
Yeah.
But let us know, are we overthinking this in the comments? But that's Theme Park Rundown for this week. We'll be back next week.